Hey guys and dolls, it's spring. It's finally here. It's time to get dirty, time to get the old cars out, and let's take a look at this 68 Rambler. This is Man Card Theater. Welcome back, guys. So, we finally reached the 60-degree mark, and it's a Sunday, and it's time to get some stuff done around here. Been doing yard work this morning, cleaning up a few things, getting the golf cart ready for the summertime, and decided to back this thing out. Now, you've seen it in other videos, but not a whole lot of attention's been given to it, so I thought I'd take you through the 68 Rambler that I have here. It's a Rambler American 4-door. And for me, it's just a cruiser. It's not fast, it's not a show car, it's a fun car. And unlike the Gremlin, it is not all original, so I've got the power of modifications where I see fit. And a little bit of a background on this: it came from Washington, Illinois, and I saw it online, and I asked my brother-in-law and my nephew to go pick it up. They have a trailer, I do not, and they took it out to their house, and over the course of the winter time, they worked on it and got it back put together. When they picked it up, the carburetor was just in a box, the back window was out, the bumpers weren't on, the radiator was busted up. It was a project indeed, and thanks to Alex and Aaron, they worked on it when I was busy doing 9-to-5 stuff, and got it back to a runnable state. I'd go out and help them whenever I could, but I got to give them all the credit for getting it put back together. So since then, I believe that was 2017. Since then, I just drive it around, and yes, I've taken it to shows, but it is not a show car. It's a fun car. And when you go through this today, I'll point out some of the things I need to get done to it, because I'm ready to spruce it up. I'm ready to make it a little different than what I've had the last several years. So let's take a tour. Right off the bat, you can see that there's been a little bit of a fender bender in it. There is some damage to the grill, and the front bumper is not exactly what you would call straight, and it's not that noticeable unless you're really paying attention. So again, it's all in the fun of the vehicle. I myself am a big fan of the AMCs, and when I saw this and the price, I couldn't pass it up. So we'll get a side shot here of it. Like I said, it's a 68 Rambler American, and 4-door, and it was originally kind of a teal color. You can see the original color there, which is going to be one of the projects coming up. But the person that had it before me had torn it apart to paint it this matte black, and they did so and never got it put back together. So I've put some white walls on it, and just walking around it, I found the chrome that goes underneath the back window. Finding the rubber to put a back window in it was kind of a chore. I ended up getting one from Blazers in Moline, Illinois, and it was off of a junk car. I had to pick the glass out of it and then soak it in hot water to get it pliable again. But after all that, we got it in, and there is some silicone around there, and she still leaks a little bit, but I keep it in the garage, and we're not going to worry too much about that. You can see the back. The reverse lights actually do work. And there is a bit of a wrinkle right there. but I'm not going to worry about that. I think what I am going to do is get some SOS pads and really get to work on some of that bright work, see if I can get some shine back in it for this year. Looking at this side, more of the same. One of the things that I've added since I've got it up at the homecoming show in Kenosha, I did find a set of side markers, so I got a set on there, and eventually I want to get the front side markers. You can see that this fender has a bit of a wrinkle in it. They did their best to pound it out, but she's far from perfect, but perfect enough for me. And then, like I said, I want to get the front side markers that go right here and just kind of complete the look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. What you're going to see is a tired old car. Let's sit down in here, and the first thing you see is the dash pad. She baked in the sun for a good many years. She's cracked, she's weathered, she's all of that. I think one of the projects this year is find one of those carpeted dash pads and just put it over the top. Although I did see that they are starting to repop these, not because everybody has four-door Rambler Americans, but the SC Rambler, a lot of people have interest in restoring those, and I believe it's the same dash pad. You've got your gauge cluster. The speedometer works, the lights work, but the fuel level, it does not. You can see that somebody has gotten in there and jostled with it, so nothing really lines up. So that might be something we can work on this year. You've got your gear selection, it's an automatic, and you got your horn. Down there is your weather eye, although most of the pieces, or I shouldn't say pieces, but the wires have busted off, so they are just slides that they're there for show. And then your emergency brake. We've got the original radio, and it does pick up nearby stations, but that's about it. No getting WLS in Chicago anymore on this one. You can see the door panels. They are complete, all except for the driver's side. The driver's side is missing the armrest, and if I ever have a chance to get one, I will certainly get it, just for the sake of getting it complete. Trying to get that cleaned up. I think I'm going to try some magic erasers again and see if I can get it whiter. If not, we'll just leave it like it is. But also, there's no weather stripping in the door or windows. It whistles when she rolls, but oh well, it's all for fun. But the vent window works like a charm. Back to the gauge cluster. I think this year I do want to take it off. You can see at one time it was some of that spray chrome around all of the gauges, and that is long since kind of chipped off, and she's looking a little rough. So I'd like to take that off, get it all painted back up, and just have it look a little bit better. It did not have a cigarette lighter in it, and for the sake of having a charger for my phone when I went places, I went ahead and put one in there. The seats in here are original, but as you can see, they are tattered and tired. I put some fabric behind the holes on the back, just so all of that yellow foam rubber wasn't sticking to me every single time. And thanks to China, I was able to order this seat pad for all of $14 just to put across there. And it too, it's covering up all of the sins of 55 years of neglect. This is a basic model. It is not luxurious at all, but like I said, it is automatic, and it did not come with carpeting. We have got a dirty old mat in the front and back, and over this summer, one of the things I want to do is really get in there and scrub it. Hot soapy water. I keep watching all these videos where these people have these nice extractors. We'll see if we can get one of those and suck up all of this filth. The back seat is more of the same. It's got the same dirty old mat in there. It's got the door cards are complete, so that's nice. And lo and behold, the back seat is damn near perfect except for a few dirty spots. The seat belts are in good working order, and they had the back seat covered, so there's no wear and tear on the fabric whatsoever. For those of you that are wondering, the headliner is in there. It's got some wrinkles, but nothing that's going to hang down on you, so it's in pretty good shape. I do need to get a lens for the dome light, but other than that, I think I'm going to leave it alone. Some folks say, well, you should paint it. Well, if I do that, I take the chance of damaging it even further, so we're going to leave that alone. Let's go around and take a look in the trunk. Thanks to Mrs. Mancard, she was kind enough to, let me get my fingers going here. She was able to find me an actual Rambler keychain from back in the day, so I've got my keys. And like all old cars, gotta use the round one to get in the doors and the trunk. And there we be. Now you can see the original color inside the trunk here. I think I'll keep the underside of the deck lid that original color because it's got jack instructions and all that. But the inside, I would like to, wire wheel it down and get some of this rust kind of neutralized. Get some seam filler in there, kind of get it more watertight, and then paint the inside of the trunk. But even with the spare tire in there, you could fit a body. There's some cleaning stuff, although I haven't used it on this in what seems like forever. So there was this old floor mat in it when I got it. I went ahead and kept it in there just to cover up the bottom, but I don't know. We'll get rid of it at some point. Does it run, you ask? Well, sure it does. Let's get the squared key, put it in there, and see what happens. Put it right in there, wait for it to focus, give it a little pump. You heard the hesitation. That's because I've got the timing off. It's a little too, I believe it's too retarded. Anyway, reason being is we've got a bad modulator on the transmission, and in order to build up enough vacuum to get the thing to run and still shift, I've got it way out of whack. So that's one of the projects. Let's go look at the engine. To get at the engine and to pop the bonnet, Right under here, we have to pull it to the side and pull up on it. Unfortunately, I can't do it one-handed, so hold on a second. Well, I recorded it once, but the engine was too loud for you to hear me with any kind of ease. So we're taking a look at it with the engine stopped. As you can see, the inside of the engine compartment, there is a lot of space in there. And one of the projects I want to do is to get that all cleaned up and painted matte black so everything matches. But the bigger picture is 199 cubic screaming inches of power. Anyway, it's the same block as the 232 and the 258, but we've got a 199 in this case, and I have put a different fuel pump in there. Of course, I've got the fuel pump that has the extra vacuum on top because I've got the vacuum wipers. I did do a coil replacement to get it to run, or not a coil replacement, but a point replacement to get it to run a little hotter, and of course a new coil. We had to rebuild on the carburetor a bit, and one of the things that was in bad shape was that radiator. So for 180 bucks, we went ahead and got the Champion aluminum radiator, and it's done just fine. We put a new thermostat in there, and that was pretty basic. And of course, I went to the Walmarts and got the cheapest battery they had. So it does fine for the summertime, and in the wintertime, as you can see here, I just put a trickle charger on it, keep it in good working order, and I imagine she's got a lot of life left in her. This, for the kids that don't know, that is a bag that has all your wiper fluid, and it's pretty primitive by today's standards, but we'll show you on the inside how that all works. All right, in here there is the button on the floor for your bright lights, but all the way up at the back is a little bulb that you sit there with your foot and you pump it, and it just squirts it like a squirt bottle onto your windshield. And pretty primitive, but you know, 1968, that's what you get. And of course, everybody's favorite, the wipers. They are just vacuum wipers. So quite a task when you're going down the road and you're going up a hill and it starts raining. You're going to want the Rain-X, that's for sure. Well, guys and dolls, that's the nickel tour of the 68 Rambler American. I'm a sucker for the AMCs, what can I say? So, like I've mentioned probably 100 times through this video, we're going to do some projects on this car. One of them is I've got to get that transmission modulator in, and I will do a little video on that. The rest of it is just cosmetic stuff that I want to do. I want to paint the inside of the engine compartment. I want to do the inside of the trunk compartment and the door jambs. Just trying to get them all that satin black so everything matches. Not because I want to show it, but just you know, it just looks better. The other thing, I'm going to take these hubcaps off. I'm going to blast the wheels and paint them gloss red. And then what am I going to do? Glad you asked. When I went to Kenosha to homecoming, I was able to get a set of 4 of these baby moons with the Rambler emblem on them for $2.50. They are in great shape. Anyway, we'll take this off, we'll paint the wheel gloss red so it really pops, and then put these moons on in the middle, and I think it will give it a whole new look. So if you want to give me some other ideas of what I can do, just type it down below, and I'm willing to listen to anything. You know, there's a lot of good suggestions out there and things that are outside the box, or at least outside of my box, that I haven't thought about yet. So feedback is welcome. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here or any of my other videos, hit like, subscribe, please subscribe, and share with your friends. Anyway, until next time, this is Kevin. Don't forget to have your man card punched.